Well, what's up,
That's a good
everybody?
intermission.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Surf's power went out. Thanks, Surfs.
That's a lie.
I
And they know that because we were still talking for a few.
don't know what happened. You probably could have stayed on, and then you could have reinvited me back. It probably would have worked.
You know, it was actually planned. I wanted to make sure everyone got their bathroom break, got some popcorn,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was our plan. Yeah, the whole
intermission.
time. I remember that.
This
Yeah,
is a show.
yeah. Well, that was fun. Yeah, all power went out in the neighborhood. Like literally, it was pitch black in my house. It was pitch black outside. Kayla thought it was just our house. She's like, I swear I paid the power bill. I was like, I know you did, but yeah, everything was gone. So there you go.
And when you have little kids,
Yeah,
it's always
we're
fun.
back.
Hello again. What's up, Infinity and Nancy? We are back. Thanks for coming back. Thank you guys for coming back in.
It wouldn't be a K-Way Live without some kind of interruption. Normally it's not the internet now, but now it's just the power. Now it's just everything shuts off.
When K-Way first reached out to me, this is how his internet was. January, February 2003.
Yeah, miserable internet connection.
And then you got it down.
Oh my God. Right in the middle of the live. It would have been perfect if we started the live at like 9:30 because it would have went down and I would have been back up by 9:30. But of course we do a little early and then it decides to go down. My mother-in-law said it flickered earlier today too. So they must be working on like a line or something. So I did hear the fire trucks drive down the street right afterwards. So maybe somebody hit a light pole or something.
That's not a very good thing.
Yeah.
Finally caught alive. What is up?
Well, we're back. If you missed the other live, you can go back and rewatch it now. You can watch the whole thing over again. We had a lot of questions to answer, and now they're all gone.
They're all gone. But we did have 30 minutes of good questions.
Yeah, that was awesome. Feel free
to
drop the questions in the
power
chat.
Back in.
Oh, yeah.
Plug the power back in.
Yeah, I think it was because of this. We didn't do this enough.
Zoop.
Hard to do this. Sideways.
Zoop. All right.
Yes.
I'll start. There's no question. Guys, bring the questions. I have a question for you.
Yep.
Thought about it.
Hit me.
A reseller just starting up has a little bit of money for things in their home to resell items. What would you suggest that first $150 to go towards your business be, or maybe $50, $20?
Okay, so most people have a phone. They're probably watching us on a phone or a computer. So I'm going to assume that they already have that. I would say number one is a scale of some sort because you need to weigh your items to ship them.
How much is that?
How much is this scale? It's linked in my bio. I don't know how much the Dymo scale is. I think it's like $20 or something like that. You can get cheaper options, of course, if you want to get a regular scale. Scales are scales, so you really don't need anything too fancy. Supplies to ship your items in. So if you're selling a bunch of poly mailers and stuff like that, you're selling a bunch of clothing, you're going to need poly mailers to ship. Tape is a good one. Yeah. I think that pretty much covers it. That's pretty much all you really need to start the business.
At what point would you say someone needs a thermal printer? Because back when I bought a thermal printer, the entry-level price was about $300. Mm-hmm. And you couldn't buy a whole bunch of use. And when I bought a thermal printer, it saved me so much time, and time is money. So at what point, because the ones we have in our link trees on Amazon, they're really, really good. And they're only like $100.
Yeah. I don't know if you need one right away. I always say like stuff like the light boxes, the thermal printers, your business can pay for that. Of course, if you don't have a printer at all starting out, you're going to need a printer. So I would say go with the thermal printer right away. But if you already have a printer, I think the thermal printer, like it's on the back burner. Of course, you're going to save money if you buy it right away and you use it right away. But if you already have that, I'd rather you spend that $100 on inventory instead of spending that $100 on a thermal printer. So I would say once you get comfortable, your business starts up and running, doing really well, then that's when you go use the business money to buy a thermal printer.
Mm-hmm. Borrow against the business pretty much.
Yeah. Yep.
The worst, turn on your sign. I can't. It makes me look like a Simpson.
Yeah. We lost all of our people. That damn K-Way with his power crap, always losing power and internet. That guy. I can't believe you chose that guy to co-host with you and you knew how his internet worked.
I know. I thought he was the big dog around town. No, Infinity, you bring up a good point because we say that to a lot of people. It's a tax write-off. It is. And we were just talking about taxes after you cut me off. But we were talking about taxes and it's a deduction. But the thing is, you got to be able to upfront that money. And it's tough for normal people, right? So if you're living paycheck to paycheck to give that money up front, it's kind of tough. But if you can, it is a write-off. No matter what, it is a write-off.
Yeah. Either way, you got to pay for the item. So, if you only have $500 in your bank account to spend on inventory and spend on supplies and stuff like that to start the business up, you want to use it as wisely as possible. And just because that's a write-off at the end of the year, it's not a write-off right now. It's not like that money just goes right back into your bank account. So you got to keep that in mind when you're buying stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I got a used thermal printer for $60. You can go to library and print off labels, paper, tape, polybag. Yep, facts. You can also, when it comes to labels, you can just get the QR code and you take that to the post office. The post office scans it and they print the label off for you. But again, you got to wait in line at the post office. Some people don't like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, I missed one.
But yeah, Facebook Marketplace guys around town, type in thermal printers. Usually there'll be one or two out there. And you check daily, they pop up, but they sell just as quick.
What 200-mile garage sale? Yes, talk about that a little bit.
So the bearded thrifter, retired and reselling, and I were going on a 200-mile long garage sale. He's picking me up tomorrow at 6 a.m. I think it starts just south of Cincinnati on Interstate 25, and it goes south for 200 miles. So nice. Through Kentucky, through Tennessee.
Now, is it like you're going to people's houses, or do they have it's okay?
So I think it's like a state highway kind of deal, and it's just like farmhouses, neighborhoods, and homes right off of it. So it's just boom, 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 one by one, the whole way for 200 miles.
Now, how do you feel with the competition of having two other resellers at the same garage sales as you are? Are you guys gonna if there's 3 garage sales back to back, are you guys gonna pick a garage sale and go to them, or are you all gonna just go right to the same garage sale and compete?
Well, as intimidating as Bearded looks, he's a big teddy bear.
He's a
so I'll run circles around him. No, but we actually talked about that. It's funny because he goes, if you guys watch his videos, he goes for a totally different thing than I do. And retired goes for a lot of sporting goods stuff, and I go for clothing. So
yeah. Another thing you could do is I've seen a lot of shoe sellers. I think Dealing with Dalton's done it before. Me and Chris have talked about it. If Chris ever comes down here, you do a draft. So at the end, everybody puts their money in a big pool.
Oh yeah.
You buy everything, and then at the end of the garage sale, you lay everything out, and then you flip a coin, or however you guys want to decide. Whoever found the best item that day, they go first, or something like that. And then one person picks, the next person picks, the next person picks. So everybody gets a fair shot at everything that's available. That's a cool way to make it fair too. And then everybody's money is put in the same pot as well.
Never thought of it that way. I've never done this, but never thought of it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool piece for content too. So if you want to film that content, it's Bearded gets first pick and then he picks the dumbest item and then you get the best item. You're like, mine's worth more than yours. Which probably happened with Bearded.
If I come to Tampa and we go to red, white, and blue, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we should do that 100%. Me and Chris have actually talked about that, doing a draft if he ever comes down here, because then we can use both of our brain power together instead of being direct competition. And at the end, that's when you do pick and choose at the end. And again, like I said, it's good for content. Does mother-in-law do draft and pictures? Yes, she does drafts and she does pictures. I put in the price and I cross-list the items. She pretty much does everything else. If we're all working together, like tomorrow we'll be working together, Kayla will be doing probably pictures, or Kayla does drafts. Mom does pictures. So they'll be working together and they're just, one's doing drafts, one's grabbing for pictures. And on that day, we'll normally get 50-ish items done because they're just doing one task instead of doing 2 tasks. I'm seller G1. Wait, I'm seller G1 or 2 items a day, still using plain paper for the moment. Yeah, that's acceptable.
So sell 1 to 2 items a day, plain paper. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yep.
I use plain paper too. I upgraded to those sticky papers, you put them in the printer and then you just peel it off and slap it on your package, and then you get 2 labels per strip. I did that for a while until I got a thermal printer.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Uh, do you pick up items that have 50 to 100% sell-through rate or focus mainly on 100% sell-through rate items? That's a good question. What's your answer to that, Surfs?
I would say anywhere in between there is fine. Because let's say you're selling a Dixon flannel and it's a really, really rare one. There are 10 for sale and only 5 sold. I would still pick up that Dixon flannel for $5 and price it right under those 10 people and still be able to sell it really quickly.
Mhm.
So there's always an asterisk by it, but if it's a really rare item, I think the lower the sell through rate, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if it's a largely sold or flooded item and it has a high sell through rate, that's key too.
I wonder what sell-through rate is on Polo Ralph Lauren polos. Have you ever looked that up? Just plain Polo Ralph Lauren polo and looked at how many listed versus how many sold? Because I guarantee the sell-through rate's probably trash.
Yeah, it probably is. I'd have to put in short sleeve. Whenever you type in Polo Ralph Lauren, even if you just put button down there, always everything comes up. So
Yeah.
you'd have to put it
So
all.
that's
Yeah,
one of those items that there being asterisks next to because we sell, both of us now sell a ton of Ralph Lauren. I think just this weekend alone, I sold 7 or 8 Ralph Lauren items. Like they're just selling like hotcakes. And before I used to not pick them up because I used to look at the sell through rate and I'd be like, well, these don't sell. And then watched a couple Surfs videos and saw like he's selling a ton of them. How is he doing this? Followed his method. So we're pricing, I believe, under market or just like right at market. And that's why the Polo Ralph Lauren is selling because it's a popular item. So if you look at sell through, there's people that list Polo Ralph Lauren polos for like 40, $50 that are just crazy. Those will never sell.
yeah,
So on an item that's flooded, if you price it at market or a little bit below market, especially if it's a popular item, it'll move really quick.
yep, agreed.
Where'd they go? I hope that my other live is not currently live. I don't know how that works. If it shuts me down here, if it still says I'm live there and they're like all hanging out in that chat waiting for us to come back.
I could watch you. I don't know. They'll figure out we're not talking anymore.
We're not talking anywhere. It's just playing. They're just watching it on replay.
Those two talk a lot and they're not talking. That's kind of
They're just
weird.
standing there. They're just frozen looking at each other. When they're going to come back? Are you live thrifting the trip? I guess that's to you.
I don't know. I know you guys follow Bearded Thrifter. He puts out a lot of garage sale content. He doesn't do a lot of live thrifting, so I'm sure he's going to be doing a lot of GoPro content. He's got really good content. So I'm kind of for the ride. You know, I'm just kind of it's going to be fun. It's going to be kind of like a little vacation.
Yeah, that's one thing you gotta. When it's hard to do garage sale live thrifts because, like Buried experienced today, you cannot do lives when you're in the car. So basically, Surfs would have to go live and then cut his live off, and then go live again and then cut his live off. So it'd be more enjoyable, I think, for you to actually just film content while you do it and then upload content, because nobody wants to watch like a 5-minute live and then have it get cut off, kind of like my power got cut off and then everybody left.
Yeah, I could make a whole video of the trip type of deal.
Yeah. So if you list 10 items per day, how many drafts do you do? When I first started out, if I listed 5 items or 10 items a day, I drafted 10 items. I just pretty much drafted and then listed those items. I never really kept a draft bank in the beginning. Now with my mother-in-law, we have 120 drafts ready to go basically at this point in time right now. So now we're using the draft bank method. But I would say when you're just starting out, if you do 10 listings a day, draft 10 listings a day. That's like the easiest way to do it. What do you feel, Surfs?
I feel like this is meant towards beginners, new sellers, people without auto posture. I would say you need to list something every single day. Like we said in the last one 30 minutes ago, you know, whether it be 1, 5, 10, list every single day. So if you think that this weekend you're going to be super busy and Thursday and Friday, you can draft 20. I wouldn't list all those 20 things right away. I would do 7 today, 7 tomorrow, 7 the next day, whatever, 5, 5, 5, whatever.
Yep. Here's a good question. And here's something we could possibly do in the future. Do you guys look at eBay stores, like do reviews? We should do do an eBay store review. I can even like blow it up on the screen and then have you in the corner and have my screen and just show. And then we can talk back and forth about what we recommend for the store. So you use 2 brains on 1 store review.
Yeah, you've done that a couple times. I've had a couple of people lately ask me. It takes a lot of time. I'd love to do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can either do a Poshmark closet or an eBay store. Like maybe we'll do like In the beginning of next week's live, we'll have you guys comment your store names, and then we'll pick somebody randomly. So the following week, we'll do a store review. How's
No
that?
next week live, by the way, guys. I will be in Florida near KOA.
Gotcha. Okay, so no live next week, but the week after. You can, I guess, drop your names in this live. There's only 21 people here, and I'm sure there'll be people that rewatch. So maybe in a couple weeks we'll revisit this idea, and then maybe we'll do it on the next live.
Yeah. Drop your Poshmark or eBay accounts.
Do you ever pick up vintage? I think that's an easy answer for you.
Yeah. I love vintage, but the thing is, you call them the t-shirt boys. And when I go live at Goodwill's, everyone's always like, go to the t-shirt section. The thing is, every high school kid, college kid, adult, and their mom have been through the t-shirt section 10 times before I've even gotten there. So it's really hard to find vintage. In fact, even now, the people in the back at Goodwill that I talk to say they pull the vintage items, vintage t-shirts, vintage clothing. So it's very rare that I find anything vintage.
Yep. Every time I go to Red, White, and Blue, there's 2 or 3 guys that wait for the new rack to come out. They have like literally chairs that they position by the new racks, and then they just go through and they pick all the t-shirts, and then they go sit down for like another 45 minutes and wait for a new rack to come out. I never understand the mentality behind that, because there's so much good stuff in those racks. You guys see me haul 2 carts full, and I guarantee the items in my cart have better resale value and they sell faster than those vintage t-shirts, unless those guys are literally just throwing them up on Whatnot and making a couple bucks. But either way, you're gonna make more money selling the stuff in the racks. But yeah, that's why I don't go through the vintage t-shirts, because they've already been through them. I think at the bins, you see a lot of those people. Kat talks about them all the time. My sister, they'll literally throw her a Johnny Was and go for like a vintage like $10 t-shirt. It doesn't make any sense to me, but to each their own. Obviously, they're doing good with it because they're continuing to do it. But there's so much more profitable items in a thrift store and at the bins than vintage t-shirts. I think there was a hype period. I think you probably agreed to this too. There's a hype period in like 2020 to 2022 where it was like all vintage t-shirts were selling for crazy money, and everybody got into it because they were all sitting at home watching these videos of these guys go find these cool, nice t-shirts, and they were selling for crazy money. I think that hype has died down significantly.
Yep, just the 1 or 2% do really well. And adding on to that, I don't think you've ever found one for $5 in the wild, but like a Coogee sweater in your background. I've had that feeling of finding a Coogee at the thrift. And yes, it's a really good feeling. And you get $200, $250 for it. Yes. But if you find 10 or 12 Polo Ralph Lauren polos that you can list in 30 minutes, there's your Coogee.
Yeah. Yeah. You saw it last week when I was at Red, White, and Blue. I was literally pulling Ralph Lauren. I think the week before that too. Like, I made more money in that little small section than I guarantee they're making going through the vintage t-shirts and looking for that one-off vintage. I'm sure once in a blue moon they hit like some crazy grail item, but it's like once in a blue moon. Whereas when I go to the thrift store, or when you go to the thrift store, I'm pretty sure once a day we get that one heavy hitter piece. Like you found the Farm Rio the other day. That's worth way more than most of those vintage t-shirts that they're pulling. So yeah, like I said, teach their own. They do their business model. It works great for them, but I just don't understand it.
I'd say this longevity. I would say what we do for full time will work better for most places. You're in Florida, I'm in Indiana. It works better for here, works better there.
Yep, 100%. Andrea asked, "What do you mean by drafts? Explain what a draft is, Surfs." I get this question a lot, actually.
I actually don't do drafts because I'm not on my computer.
That's right.
Basically, a draft for me would look like a sell similar, and I'd have it ready to list, and I would just put list later, and then it would all be ready where I just hit list on my phone, because I list everything from my phone. So I don't do any eBay listing from my computer.
Yep. Here, I'll show them on the screen what a draft looks like.
Sure.
There. Okay, so these are all drafts that my mother-in-law has done. As you can see, everything is photoed. She has the price put in. This price right here means it's not half off, so I just got to factor in that that's not a half off price. These were all picked up in a bulk buy, so I just got to throw the prices in there. But pretty much everything is ready to go on these, and she's done all these. So all I have to do is go in, change a couple things on them, put the price in, and put them live. So these are all drafts. And if you hop into one of them, like let's say this Vineyard Vines extra small shirt, hop into this. She has the photos, the titles, the price, everything. Everything you could want, it's already done. So if you've ever been to a school, obviously everybody's been to school, right? It's like a rough draft that you do at school, basically, is what it is. It's like the almost finished version, but you want to make sure you go in and fix everything. That's basically what it is, a rough draft.
So if I were to do it from my phone, here's my phone right here, and there is a section for drafts right here at the bottom. Whoops, at the bottom. So if I wanted to, like, I didn't have the pictures ready yet. I haven't come home and take the pictures, but I know the size, and I found a comp just like it at the store. I can make a draft and have everything in there ready, and then just put the pictures in whenever I take them. So I could do drafts that way. Yeah, I could
You
do
could
them from my
also,
phone.
like, if you're on the road, let's say Shelby's driving home from the thrift store, you could already start like grabbing your stuff and start drafting it, putting the titles in and everything. And then as soon as you get home, you just snap the photos. And all you do is go down the bottom and you hit save for later. And that is a draft. So you just made a draft as soon as you hit that save for later button.
Yep. So it will say drafts on there.
Yep. Our Goodwill will not let us shop the new racks. They take the new racks behind the counter and put them out from there. It sucks. Yeah, I've seen videos of Goodwills that do that too. I guess they just don't want the mad rush of everybody going and hitting the rack while the employee is trying to stock it. But it also helps the employee because if they pull 5 or 6 items off of it, that's 5 or 6 less items that they have to stock. So
for sure, it's actually where I live. There are a couple Goodwills that they don't let you touch it until they put it all the way out, because people will go to it as soon as it comes out the door. But yeah, you're right. Most of our Goodwills, the ladies are like, have at it. It's less for me to put away.
Yep. Yeah, red, white, and blue. There's a red, white, and blue that I go to not as frequently. That one doesn't allow you to touch them. They like all the ladies will say, "Go away! You can't touch this until we put it out." And then the one that I frequent, they don't care. They're just like, whatever. You can grab it. Doesn't matter to me. What's your guys' eBay stores? Mine is always linked in all of my bios on all of my platforms. If you're watching this on YouTube. So I don't think it's linked in my YouTube bio. I actually need to put it in there. I need to put a link tree in my bio on YouTube.
Is your description?
It's in the description of this video. Yeah, I have my link tree, but they have to. I think there's a way to put a clickable link on YouTube, and I don't think I've done that yet. But it's in my link tree on all my platforms. So hop over to Instagram, hop over to TikTok, hop over to Facebook. It's all there. You just click on that link tree. You can see my Poshmark and my eBay store and look at everything. What about you, Surfs?
Ditto. Yeah. So one thing I think unique about you and I are we both are transparent and give our stores out to everybody. So we don't mind doing that. You look at our sold listings, look at what we have for sale. And yeah, that's linked in all of the platforms for me.
Yep. One of the most common questions is what brands sell best? And what I tell everybody is just go to my eBay store, filter for sold. You can see everything I've sold for the last 90 days right there on eBay. You can also see everything I currently have listed. So you can kind of like start writing down name brands of stuff that you see commonly in my store. And yeah, easy way to tell what I'm listing. Know what's at a schedule. And then for a different day every day, you can do it where you price your items. Yes, and I've actually thought about doing that because it used to be you had to pay to schedule your items, which I thought was crazy. I think it was like 50 cents or something like that. And now they recently, within the last I think 6 months to a year, they took that away where you can actually schedule your listings for free. So I've thought about doing that one day, just going through, especially when we have like today, we have 120 drafts ready to go. I could schedule out 30 listings per day for the next 4 days. And then I don't have to worry about anything. They just boom, 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 get put up for me. So the only issue with that is if I'm going to cross list them, I have to remember to go in and grab those, because if they get listed and then Autoposher is listing on top of that, it's going to bury my listings. And I like to put them live and then download them immediately, so I know that which ones I have to cross list at a later time. So that's the only issue with scheduling.
But that is huge. Know what? What's up, by the way? That is huge if you're going on vacation. For example, we're going on a cruise next spring break. I won't have cell service, so I'll have it scheduled out. That's perfect.
Yep. You could just schedule stuff out and be good to go. I'm watching from Surfsup channel. Is your YouTube channel? Yes, we're both live on YouTube and Facebook. My name is underneath me right now. You can see me everywhere on all platforms. And of course, if you're not following Surfs, he's over here. It's flipped. He's over here. So just type in Surfsupfinds on every single platform and you'll be able to find him basically everywhere. Even Feet Finder. He said he confirmed that last week, so he's on Feet Finder.
I won't mention where you're at.
We can say those things over here. It doesn't matter. If we say that on TikTok, we might get banned.
Yeah,
Man, this sucks. We had like 100 people in here, and now it's down to 20, all because my stupid power went out.
sorry, guys.
Man, that sucks. I thought everybody would hop back in, but I guess maybe they didn't get the notification. I bet you that's what happened when I went back live. It didn't send out the notification. I should have probably changed the title a little bit, and maybe people would have got the notification again. Oh well, Casey's still here.
Casey, we know. Casey's actually been doing a lot of retail arbitrage. Casey's one of those people. I don't know how long Casey's been doing it, but I've said this, the last time maybe? There are so many people that I've started seeing reselling since meeting you, watching people live on TikTok or on Facebook or on YouTube start, and they've grown so much faster than I grew. So much faster. Like what I did in a year, they're doing in like 2 or 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just because they're sucking up all the information, which is great.
Yep, facts. How often do you do retail arbitrage? That's a good question for you.
For me, a lot more than I used to. I think we're both kind of on the same page. We both started this before the pandemic. So before the pandemic, it was a thing. It was a real thing. Get cheap prices, resell online. And then the supply chain hurt that. And now it's back. I feel like this is the first full season that it's been back.
Yes, and it feels so good because I was waiting for it. I thought it was going to come back earlier. I was checking all the stores. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? When's it going to come back? And if you caught up my video, I put it out today just a little bit before. I think it was about an hour before we did our first live. I went to Burlington and I picked up 4 pairs of Doc Martens. I've never seen Doc Martens at Burlington, especially like the good Doc Martens, like the chunky wedge, like gothic looking Doc Martens. I found 4 pairs of those at one Burlington, and I waited until I sold a pair to make that video. So I sold one of the pairs for $150. I paid $70 for it. So that was a really, really good flip, sold on Poshmark. So be on the lookout. All the retail stores. I never used to go to Burlington when I did retail arbitrage because I felt like they didn't get great stuff. They would get Vapor Max every now and then, back when Vapor Max used to move for good money. But I think Burlington is actually coming back better than it used to be, which is great because that just opens up a new place to source.
To be honest, I feel like Burlington and Ross have a plethora of, I don't want to say trash, but they are the stores that have the really big hitters, the one-offs that are like the $300 items for MSRP that they're selling for $30. Those stores, Burlington and Ross for us.
Yep, and they will all come in waves. So they'll you'll go there now and you'll find a whole bunch of the same stuff. Like for example, TJ Maxx, not Burlington or Ross, but TJ Maxx got a whole bunch of William Murray polos like 2 or 3 months ago when I went and I was running them on Whatnot. All of them were at one store. I went to multiple stores, couldn't find them anywhere else, but that one specific store had a ton of them. So be on the lookout for that kind of stuff too. If you go to multiple Rosses, you've been to 5 or 6 and then one random one has a bunch of like really good stuff, you might want to scoop that stuff up because you might never see it again. I never saw another William Murray polo at any other TJ Maxx or Marshalls, only that one.
I remember when you found those because you texted me and said, hey, Surfs, just letting you know, go to your TJ Maxx right away.
$20 for William Murray polos, which is crazy. I feel like they didn't even know the brand. They were just like, oh, we got a shipment of these in. Let's just get rid of them really quick. Let's throw $20 on them. I was like,
we had none here.
That was full price, by the way. That wasn't even on clearance. It was $20 full price. It's insane. Here's another one. Do adult larger sizes sell well? What's your answer to that?
You watch KOA, you watch myself. Bigger the better. Men's and women's. As long as it's a good brand, the bigger the better will sell great.
Yep. Today when I went thrifting, I even paid full price for them. They were $8 a piece, but they were Polo Ralph Lauren short sleeve shirts, but they were a 3XLT. One of them was a 3XLT. I was like, I'll pay $8 for this because I know for a fact I can move this for $25 to $30 plus shipping, and it'll sell within like 2 weeks. So anytime you find those oddball big and tall sizes, if they're a good brand attached, I would scoop them up because they will move really, really quick. Here we go. This is my first year and I'm looking to gross 30K. That's awesome. 30K in your first year is way better than I was doing in my first year.
That's what I'm saying.
That's really good. I think, what do you think you did in your first like full year of reselling?
Clothing was different. Remember, but that's what I'm talking about right now. Like people ask me, is it too late to resell? There's no better time than now because when we did it, when I started, there weren't people like us out there answering actual questions. You would just watch people's lives and write down, or watch people's videos and write down what they picked up and hope you'd find those and make a million mistakes. But now I think 30,000 a year gross, you can do it easy. The first year I did clothing, I actually have no idea. There's no way I hit 30 my first
Yeah.
year in clothing alone.
I did from September to December because I started September 19th. I think it was my first sales. September 19th. And I think it was like $6,000 or $7,000 in sales from then till the end of the year. But I was like buying and listing heavy during that whole time. So maybe I did 30K gross in my first full year of reselling. But it was a grind. It was a lot of work. I was working like full-time job and then coming home and working for like 3 hours a day too on top of that. So congrats to you, Bobby, for doing that. That's really good. 30K gross in your first year. That's awesome.
That is awesome. I started selling clothing at the very end of March, my first year. And again, it's that learning curve because I didn't do clothing. So I started selling clothing, and then I spent so much of my time just soaking up everything I could. Like you said, I would just binge watch people's YouTube videos on what they're buying, what they're selling. And I spent a lot of time doing that. And then I also thrifted and resold.
That's awesome. Jared said, this is my first full year and I'm currently at 16,500 only clothing. You know how many people I get? I'm sure you get them too. That say the clothing market is oversaturated. You can't make any money in clothing. You got to do hard goods. Just clothing.
We're liars.
Yeah. Basically we're faking all of our sales. We're all liars. The only reason we sell is because we sell to our viewers. Like, no, clothing it's not saturated because everybody still wears clothing. Like everybody's going to buy clothing forever for here on out. So there'll always be a market for it. Obviously there's brands that will tank and there's other brands that will, come around as those brands tank, but
Always.
There's so much. There's just so much. Every thrift store you go to, it's like 70% clothing and then 30% hard goods and everything else. So it just can't. There's a reason why that is, because the thrift stores make money on it, which means you should be able to make money on it too.
And not just that, brands going, but think about it, guys. Styles going in and out. What is popular right now? All that Y2K stuff. That wasn't popular 6 years ago when I was reselling clothing. So here in 2 years, when the thrift stores think whatever's popular now is worth money, it's not. There's going to be something different that's worth money. We don't know what it is. Don't you wish we did?
6 years ago, it was like I was saying before, Tommy Hilfiger, stuff like that. That stuff was moving like crazy. And the stuff that's moving crazy right now, that might only have a 1 year lifespan, and then everybody's on to the next thing. So you just got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Don't get caught with too much of it, because then you'll never sell it again. Here's a good one. I think we'll take a couple more questions and then we'll call it a night.
Sure.
Do you thrift daily? Do you thrift daily, Surfs?
When I was part-time, when I was a teacher, I would thrift every single day on my way home. So I would usually hit 3 thrift stores on my way home when I was a teacher.
Yep. I used to do the same thing when I was a mailman. There was a Salvation Army. I'd go one way to Salvation Army or one way to Goodwill. And then there's also Goodwill right by my house, but that one wasn't too good. So I'd only go there like maybe once a week. And there's a Salvation Army just past that one. So like on my way home on a route, I would stop. Also, there's TJ Maxx's, Marshall's, Ross's on that route too. So if I've already hit a couple thrift stores and they were kind of dry during the week, then I'd stop at a TJ Maxx and Marshall's and see if they got any new inventory in. So yeah, nowadays I don't thrift daily. I only thrift like once to twice a week. Because we go to Red, White, and Blue, we haul out when we go to Red, White, and Blue. But if I didn't have Red, White, and Blue, I would probably be sourcing daily. I'd do the same routine, and I'd probably find just as much stuff as I'm finding at that one Red, White, and Blue. It would just take me longer to find it all.
That's me.
Yeah.
So right now, September and March are heavily listed months for me because I do all the seasonal transition. But during the middle of winter, middle of summer, I'm thrifting daily, and I have to hit like 8 to 10 thrift stores to get what he gets at one thrift store. So yeah, I have to hit 10 thrift stores a day. He goes to one thrift store in a day and gets a week's supply.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have it confused. They think that I've always gone to red, white, and blue, and that's why I've been able to grow my business. I just recently found out about red, white, and blue like last year. So I've done the Surfs Up method where I've had to go from store to store, and I've grown my store to six figures in sales by doing that model right there. So it's 100% doable. It's just if I could go to one store and haul out, I might as well just go to one store and haul out instead of drive around.
Yep.
And Nancy, we'll end with Nancy's. Who wants to ship hard good? Clothing is so much easier. I think that's facts.
I can tell you, that's all I did. That's all I did.
I watched your packing video. I think you put it out today or yesterday, where you're shipping your items. Just watch that packing video and see how quick Surf ships those items. He just throws them in, seals them up, slaps a label, ships them out. Easy peasy.
And I've never had a complaint about clothing, ever. Never, never, never.
Yep. And just imagine he's not paying for boxes, which are more expensive to ship with. You're not having to go and drive around to find those specific boxes. You literally just take it. You get your poly mailers dropped off. You pay anywhere between 3 to 10 cents per poly mailer, depending on which ones you buy, and you're paying a lot less. You're just shipping them out, slapping them in, shipping them out.
I'll say this. If you guys follow me, you know I used to sell tons of hard goods. I would have peanut bags taller than me, this big around, sitting in the corner, and boxes everywhere. It was expensive, so expensive on my end to pack stuff. It took so much more time, but the margins were better. So I'll still pick up hard goods if the margins are there.
Yep. Facts. Okay, one more question. Sorry, we have to take this one. How much do you spend each week on inventory? How much do you spend? I don't think I've ever asked you that question.
To be honest, I don't even know. People ask us, I've seen them ask you and myself often, like, is there a spending limit? And at this point, there's not. So I'll just, if it's there, I buy it. If it's there, I buy it. When I first started out, I wasn't finding a whole lot. So maybe like a couple $100 a week, something like that.
Yeah, I the last couple weeks I've been to one red, white, and blue, and I've spent like today we spent $1,000 at the red, white, and blue. Last week we spent almost $1,100 at the red, white, and blue, and then we went to Goodwill afterwards. So today we probably spent $1,100, and that's probably the max I'll spend on inventory. This week I don't have a bulk buy. Last week I did a bulk buy on top of that, and I think that was another $300 or $350 that I spent on that bulk buy. So there's some weeks that I spend $800, and the next week I'll spend close to $2,000 on inventory. But the good thing is, as I spend $2,000, by the end of that week, I have that $2,000 right back in my bank account. So as long as that's happening, I'm just going to keep doing that over and over again. It doesn't bother me seeing that money go, because I know as we get that stuff listed, like I have a massive death pile right now. As my mother-in-law lists that stuff and we help her list it, it's like the sales are just going to skyrocket, and they already have. So.
Yep.
One
Regina.
more. Yeah, one more. I never heard my answer. I list everything on Buy It Now, but eBay wants a starting bid. What should I use percentage? I never heard my answer. I list everything on Buy It Now, but eBay wants a starting bid. Should I use percentage? When you do Buy It Now, you set a price. So
Don't do both. Maybe you're thinking both the toggles.
Yeah.
Turn the auction off.
Yeah, turn the auction off. Okay, I know what she's doing. Okay, so you have auction on, and then you also have a Buy It Now price in there too. So yeah, turn the auction completely off. I don't ever do both. Have you ever done both of those together?
No.
Yeah, it's either an auction or it's a Buy It Now. So yeah, turn the auction off, set it to Buy It Now, and set best offer on, and you can even cap your best offer. So if you have something listed for $30 and you don't want anything under $15, you can set it so you don't even get bothered with people that are going to lowball you. But yeah, don't turn the auction on.
That's a good tip right there.
Yep. All right, Surfs. Well, that was fun. That was interesting. Now we have two separate lives on our Facebook and YouTube for tonight. This could be number 3, but it's actually number 2 because yeah, my power went out.
You took a number 2 on me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, listen. So if you guys are just joining, we were in earlier. So there is a live from earlier. It's about 30 minutes worth of really good questions. So that will be there too.
Yep. And if you guys are rewatching this and we missed your question from the earlier live and you're coming back and you're like, wait, these guys came back on and I missed it. We'll be live in 2 weeks, not next Thursday because Surfs is on vacation, but we'll be live the following week, make sure you come back in, drop your questions if you want them both answered. We're going to check through. If you're watching this on Facebook, if you want your store to be reviewed, you can actually drop the link to your store in the Facebook on both of ours. And it'll be really easy for us to just click on it and go right to your store. There's literally a share button at the top of your store. So do that, and maybe we'll pick somebody and we'll do it in the following Thursday, or maybe the Thursday after that. We'll have to discuss that after the live and see what we're going to do with that. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
And just so you guys know, come back, because we have a lot of fun ideas to do, especially for new resellers. We have a lot of good things planned. That being one of them.
Yeah, I want to do like a sale of the week kind of thing too, like where we show like our favorite sale of the week. I don't know do you know how to share your screen yet, or do I still have to teach you how to do that?
I can share my screen probably.
Okay, beautiful. So we can do like a sale of the week where we like show our favorite sale. It doesn't have to be the most profitable. Maybe it's the one item we've had in our store for a super long time and we just want to show that we got rid of it. I think that would be a cool little addition to this. We're playing around right now. This isn't technically a podcast. It's like a pre-podcast, basically. We're seeing what sticks.
Yeah. So real quick.
Is he gonna do it? He's gonna share his screen? It's gonna be a proud moment for me.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Hold on. We'll get there.
Nope, we're not.
I knew it. That's okay. I'll teach you after live.
No, I got you.
Okay.
Guys, we're going to do this. Actually, I have an idea. I have a really good idea.
I like this. I like the where this is going.
Because we have about 5 minutes, don't we?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Okay. Let's look at something real quick. Can we look up a K-Way shop item?
Sure. I wonder what one he has in mind. He has something in mind right now. I don't like where this is going. I probably have an error on one of my listings, and he's going to go blast it to everybody.
Your foot is in one of them.
Oh, no, it's my mom's foot.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But let's see.
He's Googling how to share the screen. That's exactly what's happening right now. Surfsup would like to share the. Yep, there you go. Oh, cool. We're both at the bottom. Let's go.
How about that?
You're showing your emails, though. I don't know if you want to show your emails.
No. Is it emails or just the...
It says
at the
your
top.
name. It says your email. You might want to block those off.
It's okay.
Just email him if you want to talk to him.
What's something you have for sale? Something very unique.
Something very unique that I have for sale. Let me see. I don't know.
Don't you have a really Robert Graham limited edition?
Yeah. Type in. Hang on. Figure this out. Spur of the moment. There's a name for it. I can tell you the name of it. It's called if you type in Robert Graham and then SCHERGER, mine should pop up. SCHERGER. And then mine's the second one. Look at that photo, by the way.
All right, so here we go. Here's some photos. This is what I'm talking about.
You got to share your new screen now.
Okay. So someone the other day, they asked me,
Yeah,
I don't know how to share it.
Unshare the one and then reshare that one. There you go. Wrong one.
That one.
There should be another tab. Don't worry, chat. I'll get them trained up.
Yeah, he's training me.
Nobody's here. We only got 18 people here. It's fine. We can train you.
Good. All right. So we're off. To me and you.
Okay, now when you click it, click the one with the Robert Graham on it. It should share that one. There you
go. So here's
by the way, you don't have ad block on your computer?
I guess not. Yeah, I do. Watch. It's gone. But yeah, so someone sent me some photos the other day. I'm like, the lighting's got to be better. Look at this lighting. Look how this just pops. That right there, I love because this has this figure in it. I think that's a perfect cover photo.
Yep.
But if it didn't, I love that cover right there.
Yep. Yeah, that's the whole reasoning behind using that first one is because it had that big, like that's the selling point of the shirt right there. It's not the other photo. Like everybody wants that shirt for that specific hit.
Yep. Now, where's the seller?
Scroll down
There it is.
right there.
Let's visit his store. Well, 100% feedback.
Yep.
It's pretty important. Yep. See, like this one right here. Like, look at these. I love how these pictures are taken. So
Yep.
if you guys are,
those are actually taken. Those photos are actually taken by my mother-in-law. Those specific ones you're looking at right there.
right here, this little like at an angle with the light,
Yep.
you see its long sleeve, you see the neckline, you see the tag. You know, that's just, I feel like that just sets it apart from other listings.
Also, if you X out of that one, you see how it looks more uniform, that they're all like looking pretty much the same. There's a couple that differ, but they're all like angled at the same angle. So as people are going through the closet, they can see like it's all like almost uniform. Of course, there's like the seguel right there where it's just
This is
hanging up,
hard.
but it's got to be hung up like that because if I did that corner photo, it just wouldn't look good. So I had to hang it up like that.
Yeah, it's hard with the cardigan for sure. It's a way to do jeans. But yeah, so look at these pictures. I mean, if you're watching this later on, I mean, I'm going to just refer to this video because these are how pictures should look. It just, I mean, look at that.
Yep. You can get those same style of photos too without a photo box. I think a lot of people think like you have to have a photo box to get that. No, you can get photo lights. You can take the photos on the floor like you do and get the same type of thing of listing. You can use Photo Room to take out the background if you wanted to. I recently just downloaded Photo Room. It's an excellent app. Yeah, you don't need professional lighting.
Yeah, it looks good.
Thank you. Now we'll do yours next week, and I'll at the end of the live, I'll critique.
It's completely different because I use kitchen lighting, but I think it takes that eye. You have to have that eye, that angle.
Mm-hmm.
Some things. So
yeah, the first couple listings that my mother-in-law did, I had to like show her like she was taking them too high up or like it was too far back or showing too much of the white, and I had to show her like this is the way. I showed her a couple listings. This is the way. It's got to fit perfectly in the frame. And then that first cover photo, you just angle your phone just a little bit over to the side, snap it in, get the whole tag and everything in there. With shirts, you like throw the cuff over top of it, even if it doesn't have a flip cuff, shows that it's a long sleeve. That first photo will tell a lot about that item. It'll say what color it is, if it's a long sleeve, where the tag is, it has the size in there, has a bunch of information. And then if they want to see, if that will suck them in. And then the very next photo is a full front and the very next photo is a full back. So they get to see the whole item within 3 photos. And then we add the tag photos after that. So there's a reasoning behind all that. And I just literally copied other people's photos. I went on eBay and I looked how other people's photos were when I first started. And I said, I was going through and I saw somebody that did the photos exactly how I did it. I said, that's going to suck me into listing. Like that made me stop. So if it made me stop, it's going to make a buyer stop. And then I just adjusted my photos the way they did it.
Yep. I tell people all the time, if you're new, if you usually follow KOA, you don't follow me. I always tell people, I feel like if your photos should be able to sell your item just as well as your title.
Yep. Same reasoning why people window shop, right? They're just walking by a window and they see a crazy colorful piece and they're like, man, I want that. It's the same thing. They're window shopping as they're scrolling through eBay. That's all it is.
Yep.
All right. You ready to hop off?
Of course, we're getting some more questions, but yeah.
Well, save your questions. Come back in 2 weeks. We're going to do this again in 2 weeks. And then after that, we should be like every single week we'll be doing that because Surf's taking a vacation next week. So he needs some time off to relax and enjoy himself.
That's right.
Yep. Going to a crazy expensive, where are you going again?
We are going to Disney World, going to the Polynesian Hotel at Disney World.
Yeah, that's awesome. Crazy. We were going to go, but then we saw the price of that place and we're like, go ahead. Now we got to put a roof on our house. So it's perfect that we didn't book that trip because that would have sucked. That would have sucked.
Literal roof on your house is more important than vacation.
Yes. Facts.
Write that down.
Facts. All right, everybody. Appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. We'll do this again in 2 weeks, same spot. I'll pay my power bill so that way we don't have a power outage or anything like that.
Please do.
And yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll catch you on the next one. Wait, this one.
All right, guys.